By the way, I forgot to mention last episode how many hashes we got from the previous setting. We did get... Do I want to play around with anything here? I don't think I do. Okay. We did get about 100 new hashes from the previous setting, which of course we're going to get diminishing returns as time goes on here. So that's not too surprising. But that's also non-zero. Like the fewest hashes I've gotten in one sitting I think was like 5. You know, new hashes, of course. No, I keep saying hashes. It's not hashes, it's strings. We have all the hashes. We need to get the strings for the hashes. This is going to be a full race, isn't it? Remember this course gave me trouble at one point. Oh no, it's a head-to-head. Okay, I won't complain. I like it being short. I like that screen on the right. Very Fury 3 like. This guy's gonna start faster than me because they understand their gearbox. The inferiority of automatic transmission. Leave it to people making games in the UK to punish North Americans using automatic transmissions. Although I just jumped right in front of that guy. Okay. But I think the main reason I'm still managing to find new hashes is probably because I'm doing these sponsor events. Oh boy, calm down. Because I don't think I'm getting any from the freestyle. The freestyle I'm just doing because it's content in the game that I want to see and I enjoy doing. So yeah, this is head-to-head, but it's not a head-to-head course. So it's just a one-lap race with one other person. You know, I'm racing especially well, in my opinion. But yeah, I think there's a lot more standardization, I think, involved in the file structure for... Come on, keep your grip on the ground. There's a lot more standardization, I think, for the file structure for the freestyle. It's just every course, every freestyle course has a freestyle event in it. And I think lots of the details for like the scores you need to get and whatnot are all in one big XML file. And then where all of the targets are and whatnot, those are, each of those have their own XML file inside the directory for that stage, is I think how that works. But, so you have one file that includes most of the information, and then the smaller files that include where the targets are and whatnot, those have a regular file name. They'll have the same file name. So you're not getting a new string from loading those. Oh no, Fury clothing. I don't want it though. But okay. Whereas I think the sponsor events are a bit more unique. I think they do have more in the way of unique names and whatnot for the different events. I suspect. I could be wrong. I haven't been looking too closely at all the hashes here. So it's downhill rather than uphill. That should be a bit more fun. You see, there's still more road behind us. Ow. This is more point to point, actually. It's interesting. Well, more point to point flavored, I guess, is a good way of putting it. It's still just a course, but ow! Oh, okay. I think I messed that guy up a bit by getting underneath him. I cannot go faster. My wheels cannot spin any faster, and I'm going downhill. Darn. I messed up the finish there. Didn't manage to get the pass on Yoshi. If I managed to pass him there, it would be perfectly fine. Okay. I should also, once I have finished all these, do a couple things like loading up all the clothing and all the decals as well. Less important stuff to load in my opinion, but regardless. Good to be complete where I can be. You know, maybe some people would like to one day try to mod in their own textures for the decals or something. It's interesting to me how different race sports seem to have their own customs for whether you know when the race is going to start or whether you have to react. Whether reaction time is part of the sport or not. Ah man, I was keeping my grip really well there for a second. Yeah, land on the road, please. Yeah, I just cannot go faster here. It feels weirdly frustrating. My vehicle just not being able to speed up any going down a hill like that. There we go. Just drive into a wall. Good way of talking. I got goggles. Amazing. That was worth the effort. Presumably all the Fury clothing has already been loaded, but I guess we'll see. Speaking of things being loaded and Fury, I don't know if I mentioned this. I have just manually added the strings for a couple characters that never appear. You know, your Fury teammates only show up in story mode, but there are versions of them, there are files for them, or specifically directories for them, with assets for what they look like outside of story mode, even though they never appear outside of story mode, so you never load those normally. But I've manually inserted the strings for those. They're just referenced by numeric IDs. Just 3 digits. So, and it follows the same format as all the other ones, so it's trivial to guess. Nondescript brown. Very good. This game is a lot more brown than its predecessor. That disappoints me greatly. I really enjoy the flavor of this game a lot less. You know, it's still got a nice soundtrack. There are more songs in... I take my own path. There are more songs I like more in Fury 3, but this game still has a good soundtrack. I enjoy the soundtrack a good deal. But the decor, the environments you go through, I enjoy substantially less. The story mode is amusing. I don't mind it at all. I don't know if it really adds much, but it's still amusing and fun. It's a good way of keeping your speed up. Very nice. I can move just as quickly sideways as I can straight, clearly. That was cutting too much. Okay, I can't make out... Again, this is a problem largely from me not having the screen large enough, but a lot of what's going on here is I can't make out the features of the course very well, because they're all just brown. And also in shadow. So it's just the whole screen is just dark brown, with additional issues like glare on the screen. I mean, say glare, I mean like glare from the sun that is deliberately, come on, in the game, which is a funny detail to have, but ugh, when it's already hard to see, that's very annoying. You and me, Manu. Aside from invisibility, I'm not minding this course so far. It's just I can't see that on course to drive through to start with. I don't expect to win a race like that, but I'm still doing an awful job, I have to admit. Somehow still holding a lead despite that. Again, though, the rubber banding here is very strange in these head-to-heads, so... Might as well just restart. I could try to practice the rest of the course, but I don't particularly feel that's worth the time. It is... The physics in this game are weird with the truck, if you ever manage to get it to not be upright. It rotates very awkwardly, very slowly. It doesn't particularly make sense to me how it behaves. And I guess the physics are very optimized for you to try to stay upright while navigating bumpy terrain, rather than optimized to make sense what happens when you when you end up being flipped over or something. Good old 360. Just showing off. I only got points for that as much as I did doing other stuff. Yeah, again, you messing up towards the end of a race is extremely punishing, but messing up earlier on in these head-to-heads just is not, just because it's... your opponent speeds up and slows down so much in response to you, it feels like. So it means that if you have a lead, it doesn't help you, it doesn't give you more wiggle room to slow down towards the end. But if you do fall behind, you can catch up easily. Some real snow this time? Very good. Don't see that very often in this game. I wish there was more snow rep in this game, like there was back in Fury 3. It's a fun environment. If nothing else, it's just nice and visually distinct. It's part of it. Also, you don't get a whole lot of sand in this game either, though, I don't feel like, compared to Fury 3. Again, not a lot of variation in your aesthetics. But even when you go somewhere, like the places you just, hey, it's a brown place, or hey, it's this place that maybe has some grass, or hey, it's a snowy place, it's a sandy place. That's I feel like that's all the personality most things in this game have. Turns out to be. Granted, that was largely the case with the races in Fury 3 too. I still feel like some of the courses were a bit more recognizable. But part of it too was that you had these big multi-purpose courses. I guess strictly speaking they were called freestyle courses, but they got used for other things. You had smaller portions of them used for races. I liked that. So there were courses that actually did have some flavor to them too. Race courses, I mean. Instead of just the freestyle. You still have a little bit of flavor in the freestyle here. You have the one City Park I mentioned here before that I do like. The targets there are something to contend with, but I do like the concept a lot. Somehow it feels marginally less novel to me in this game than in Fury 3, but I still like it. And of course you got like the bullfighting ring too, in Spain if I remember correctly. I think it was Spain. Yo. I was slow for a second there, but then, again, inexplicably my opponent just did not really gain on me in spite of it. Despite them only being within like a 10th second of me. But yeah, there's like two that I find interesting here in terms of concepts for freestyle, but the freestyle courses are only freestyle here. They're not these big courses that have a bunch of things in them. I love being able to develop a little bit of a relationship with these courses. Doing a bunch of things, coming back to them. You have a couple places like Mount Cheddar that have more than one track to go on in them, but it's just not the same thing. Okay, so... Alright, so next time we will start going on with the bike, I think. We'll try to get the sponsor stuff done for real, and then we'll have a good deal of freestyle to do for a while, I guess. I should probably, hopefully just for this one recording session, the rest of it, so 3 episodes. Well, maybe we're like 1 or 2, considering I'll probably spend at least the next episode doing bike sponsor stuff. Probably more than that, actually, between the not being super used to the bike, and also probably having a lot of sponsorships to do for it, because I didn't get that many playing the story, I don't think. So, probably spend a while on this, but hopefully by the next recording session too, I'll actually have all the other stuff unlocked by modifying. I just have a way to modify other stuff. I'll have to figure out. The thing is, man, I can't just boot up the game and have stuff unlocked if I do it that way. If I modify files as they're loaded, because I have to do it every single time I load the thing. It could prove a little difficult, actually. We'll see how reasonable it ends up being to do in reality. Ooh. I don't know. But I'll give it a shot, and then there'll be other stuff we can do between freestyle events. And yeah, see you then.